There's no easy way out. I just wanna know there's no easy way out. No easy way out. I'm not asking for another chance.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the No Easy Way Out podcast. My name is Tony Nash, and we are coming to you as always from our offices in beautiful downtown Owosso, home to our company AZ Business Solutions, where we help grow your brand from A to Z. I'm joined today by an Owosso legend. If you've been around for a while, you know this guy, or at least you know of his business, and that is Mr. Rick Morris. Rick, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's exciting. Glad to have you here. Your business, of course, is the House of Wheels, and House of Wheels has been around for a little while. When did you guys open?
We opened in October of 1972, so we're on the cusp of our 50th anniversary.
Almost 50 years in business. That's
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. That's got to be one of the longest standing businesses in our downtown district, I would think.
Probably pretty close.
Maybe you and Carl Mankey are right up there around the same.
Or
you know.
Gilbert's. I
Gilbert's
think
has
they
been
were
around
there.
for a while too. Yeah. Very, very cool. Well, before we get into a little bit about House of Wheels, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
I have a great family, 2 boys, AJ and Trevor, and I have a great wife. She's my favorite unpaid.
Volunteer.
No, she don't volunteer all the time, but she's unpaid employee.
Gotcha. I have a few of those in my
Yeah.
family. Yeah.
So, but yep, she's great. She's at the store right now, actually, so I could come down here.
Taking care of business.
Yep.
So why don't you tell our audience a little bit about House of Wheels then, and what it is, what you guys do there, and what people can expect when they come visit you.
We fix bikes. We sell bikes. People laugh when they sit there because a lot of people just come and sit for 15 minutes and leave or whatever. But they said they always think that we're psychologists there.
Deep conversations.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
to figure out how to fix their bike to save their life or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
There's
funny.
always a story along with the bike break, right?
Yep. But that's half the fun of it.
So are you guys strictly bikes, or are there other things that you guys sell down there?
We do bicycles, e-bikes. We do skateboards and scooters and three-wheelers for adult three-wheelers. Trailers to pull behind your bike to tow your kids around. We have every...
So anything in the world of cycling or boarding, I mean, the House
Yep.
of Wheels, things with
Yeah,
wheels
we
on
have
it, right?
racing things for the
Yeah.
enthusiasts, and then we have mom and pop right around the neighborhood.
Very, very cool. So you've been doing this for almost 50 years, you said.
Yep.
So you must love it.
Oh, yeah.
Tell our audience what you love about what you do, what you love about this business.
Maybe because I'm my own boss. I don't know. I
Sure.
guess my customers
That
are
helps.
my boss, but
Yeah.
it's fun to get up every morning and go to work. I mean, I used to fix bikes in our garage when we were little kids. There was gangs when we were teenagers riding skinny tire, drop bar bikes around town during the bicycle boom of the 70s. And then I just started fixing friends' bikes and whatever on those rides around town. I mean, there'd be a pack of 30 every night riding around town. Kind of like the people were driving back in the day. They
Yeah.
were aimless drivers. We were aimless bicycle
Aimless
riders.
cyclers. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
it was-
very cool.
It was fun, and my dad was tired of bikes in our garage, I think. So he borrowed $5,000 from my grandpa, and we started the store.
Wow. Now, how old were you when that happened?
I was 16.
16 years old.
Yep.
And then your dad started it and you took it over from him, or is
No,
this-
it was his money and
Yeah.
my labor.
but it was your business.
Yeah, well, yeah. He knew. I mean, I didn't know what I was
You were the
doing.
one that had the interest, right?
Yeah,
In the
I could
bikes.
fix things, and he was tired of he worked for State Farm Insurance, and he was tired of that job.
Yeah.
So I mean, he still worked for State Farm. He took
Sure.
a lesser job, so
Sure.
he didn't have to be a bigwig with the company. So
Right.
I would get out of school at 1 o'clock or whatever for co-op, and we'd be open from 1 till 8 every day our first year. And then our next year, we were open like the same time frame.
Yeah.
And then, so then after I graduated, then we went to normal business hours from 9 to 6 or 7.
So what are your hours today?
9:30 till 6, but we just started
Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday.
Okay.
We just started our winter hours. We close at 5:30
Okay.
from October till end of March or whatever.
Sure. What types of, what brands, what types, I mean, I know you said you sell e-bikes and trikes and regular bicycles, but what are the major brands that you sell there?
Well, some people think we don't sell major brands, but because there are higher up the food chain brands, but you have to have your store. You have to have your store. 60-80% of their product.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't work in
Yeah.
a little town.
Right.
You have to be in Lansing or something where you got 200,000 people to sell to.
Right.
So we are mostly like a second tier company, but we love them. One of our companies is owned by a 60-some-year-old woman. She's awesome. And she actually has Owosso connections also. And then we have another company that's small like that. Actually, we have two companies with Owosso connections. They own bike companies,
Okay.
but they haven't lived here in
Yeah.
forever.
Well, I remember as a young boy riding our bikes over there and getting pegs. I had old Mongoose and I had a red line. I remember getting the pegs on the back so that, your friend could ride around on the back of the bike with you. Getting the little chromies on the
Yeah.
tire valve stems.
Yeah.
Getting the blue tires. That was really popular in the 80s, the blue tires. And just going in and seeing all the cool things you could get for your bike. And
Yeah.
most of them I couldn't afford when I was little. But, just the fun hobby of having a bike and tricking it out. And I always remember doing that, pulling out back. And I don't know if it was you. I was little, so I don't know if it was you or some of the workers would come out. What do you got there? And look at it and talk to you about the different things. So always a fun experience. Always a cool thing.
It's still the same way today.
Yeah, yeah. Do you find that there are more or less kids out riding their bikes these days?
There's definitely less because, there's too many weirdos in the world, and all of us parents are scared.
Yeah, I was just talking to Randy Woodworth about that. I think that, I said, I don't know that the world is necessarily a more dangerous place. I just think we have more access to information with social media and 24-hour news. Like, we hear about every single time a kid gets abducted, or every time someone got hit by a car, or every time there was a shoot. Like, you hear about all these things, and so it's always in your mind. And I think back then we were just kind of oblivious that there's a lot of crazy people in the world, and so we just let the kids. I mean, I remember being 7, 8 years old riding my bike all over town.
Right.
And now I have a 11-year-old daughter, and I'm like, you ain't riding away from the house where I can't see you, So it's just probably that access to all the information has really changed how we view the world.
We still have kids that ride down from Emerson area or wherever, across town. So it's
Yeah.
either the kids are smarter or the parents don't care. I don't know, or they
Maybe
know
a
that
combo.
they know that we're a safe place for them to
For them to come.
destination, because a few of them have to call. I've noticed because they all have phones. So
Yeah. So I sent you a questionnaire like I do with all of our guests, just to kind of get to know you as a person a little bit and some of the things that make Rick Morris tick. So we're going to kind of unpack those a little bit here. One of the first questions we asked everybody is, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? And I found it interesting. Your answer was actually the same as our last guest, Randy Woodworth. You said Michigan because we've got everything. So what is it about, being in Michigan and traveling around in Michigan that you love so much?
we got the best water, the best lakes, the best big lakes. If you want to go hang out at the sand, which my wife loves to do. And I love the crops of cherry trees, and I like all that part of Michigan. We have farmers in our family, so I love farming, even though I've never done any of it.
Yeah.
But I like the science of it and everything.
Solitude, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's neat. And but we have great hills to go mountain biking through the woods. You know,
got
some
it all.
states have beautiful mountains, but you really can't use them for anything. They're so
Yeah.
big that
Yeah.
what you can do, crawl up on your belly
Yeah.
up the mountain. You know, it's just fun to look at, but you don't really use them for
Sure.
much,
Yeah.
or I wouldn't.
No, yeah. Well, is there a specific
Personally.
part of Michigan that you like, or do you like the whole time? I mean, like, I'm a northern Michigan guy. I love anything north of
Right.
Clare. It's
Yeah.
always a good time for me.
Yeah, no, I love all of it. Yeah, I have antique trucks, so I love even our museums for antique trucks.
Yeah.
Or we have a lot of antique truck get-togethers. We have tons
Yeah.
of bicycle get-togethers, and those bicycle get-togethers are in great places. I love Rails to Trails, which I helped make from Owosso to Ionia, and so wherever we go, we try to take our bikes and ride a rail trail, because you gotta
Yeah.
check out all the ones that aren't like yours
Sure.
or in a
Yeah.
different part of the world. I mean, even ours, you go ride it and you don't know if you're in Ovid or
Right.
where you are once you get out of town.
Yeah.
So it's a good escape for
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
easy to get to. And Michigan has the most amount of miles of trails of any state.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So that's kind of neat that we're part of that.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who don't know, in Owosso here, there's a trail that the head starts right here in Owosso, goes all the way to Ionia. And so, but yeah, lots of opportunities for biking. It's like, and if you need the right bike,
That's
you
it.
go to House of Wheels, they can help you determine what bike you should have for what type of cycling you want to do, because obviously there's a range of bikes that you would want to use. I mean, if you're going to ride a long trail, you don't want the Mongoose that I had when I was growing up. So if you want something a little more comfortable, I'm sure, for something like that.
Yep.
So it says here a random fact about you. I love this answer. You said, I care about everyone. Red states, blue states, my customers, bicycle riders. You're just a man of the people. You love everybody. We need more of that in the world today.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, everybody wants to kind of pick a side. I feel like, the media has put us all in this thing where you have to pick a side. If you believe something one way or another, then you can't be friends with somebody who disagrees with you. And it's just crazy. I remember not so long ago where if we disagreed on something, whether it would be religiously, politically, what type of bike we liked, what kind of food we wanted to eat, that was okay. I mean, that's what made a good friend. You don't want to have the same people around you all the time. You want to have a diversity of thought and ideas. And for some reason now, it's like when you disagree with somebody or they disagree with you, it's like they want us to be enemies. And that's just
Yeah.
not how it should be.
No, I have friends a couple of them that have gotten rid of me on Facebook just because I was opposite of them.
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah, it's crazy, I mean, it's I think when you sit down with somebody and have a conversation, you realize that 99% of people, we agree on a whole lot more than we disagree on. And those few things that we disagree on shouldn't be deal breakers. I mean,
Right.
certainly there are probably some things in life that you don't want to associate with somebody, but I think the majority of things, it's just, and again, I'll bring that back to social media. I really think social media has given us too much knowledge about people. We know everything about everybody. We know when they're eating dinner. We know when they're on vacation. We know and then they tell us every feeling they have and their opinion. And so instead of actually sitting down with them and talking about why they feel that way, we just read a post and we read it out of context and then we make these assumptions or opinions. I think it's just unhealthy. It's unhealthy for society.
Not all the time, but even our Facebook page at the bike store, I don't like being sold something every 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So more than half of our posts are just a fun thing to do on a bike
Yeah.
or something bicycle related, but a fun fact.
Yeah, I mean, I like that we can use social media for our business, and certainly, we manage other people's social media accounts, and so there is a benefit to it. But I would say, as someone who's very involved and understanding of social media, I don't know that it's been better for our society. I don't think that it's made us a better people, a better culture, a better nation. It's certainly opened up a lot of things that maybe aren't healthy. Sometimes too much knowledge is unhealthy, and so. But, you got to try to live with it and cope with it. And I've just always had the opinion that if I read something on Facebook or I hear somebody said something, I don't read into it. If I'm going to have a disagreement with someone, let's have a conversation. Let's sit down, have a cup of coffee, and there's no reason for us to be enemies.
That's why
You know?
you shouldn't be able to post. You should only be able to Google. Find out information.
Here you go. No, I like it. You heard it here. No more posting, just Google it.
Yep.
So you said that if you were on a desert island and you had one album to listen to, you said something from The Doors. You got a favorite song?
No, I don't know why. I've always liked their music and whatever, and I don't even like classic rock.
No?
No, I'm actually a rockabilly person,
Yeah?
but at this stage of my life, but for some reason, I always liked the Doors music whenever I hear it. That's about the only classic. I never bought a Led Zeppelin. I never, when everybody's Led Zeppelin crazy and whatever, but it was never me.
So you're a rockabilly man and The Doors. That's what you like?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. It would be hard to listen to one album forever on an island, but if you had to, that's where you'd go with.
I guess.
This one I thought was pretty funny. An Irrational Fear. You said that the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man would make Owosso all sticky. Now, that's from Ghostbusters, I know, but tell us about this fear that you have.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why. For some reason, that picture of him walking through
Main Street.
whatever town they're in the movie,
That's
and
pretty funny.
blowing up and making the town all sticky. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. So you said you have your job, your dream job. You said if you had any job in the world, you have the job you love. That's good when you're doing what you love. I always tell people if you can do what you love and get paid for it, you're winning. You've won the game.
My mom and grandma, I'll blame them for it, but there used to be a magazine called Ranger Rick, and it was
I
all
remember that.
about, for kids, about outdoors and whatever, and I always wanted to be like a DNR guy or something in the DNR thing, and I think that's how bicycling came. That was an outdoor thing.
Yeah.
The bicycling part of it was an outdoor thing, so I think that's what got me to be a bicycle person. That's part of the wanting to be maybe a DNR guy and be in outdoors.
Ranger Rick Morris.
That's right.
He had your name. Okay, so I like this one too. You said if Hollywood cast a movie about you, who would you like to see? You said either Jeff Daniels, who's a Michigan man, or Jesse James. And I can really see Jesse James. I think that you guys look a lot alike.
Before I had this, everybody said Jeff Daniels.
You look like Jeff Daniels. That's
And
your
what's the
doppelganger.
other guy? Dave Coulier.
I could see Dave Coulier too.
So all them guys that people would keep saying, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
No, I think with the
My
goatee,
dad-
you look like Jesse James.
I always told everybody my dad made the rounds.
Yeah.
That wasn't very nice, was it?
My dad made the rounds. Well, and Jesse James works on motorcycles, so it would be a good. He'd be able to, figure out that casting pretty well. So we talked a little bit about earlier the Rails to Trails, the trail from Owosso to Ionia, but you said this was your proudest achievement today. So tell the audience what involvement you had with that, how long it took, and when that launched.
Oh, geez. It started in 1999. A guy named Roger Thalen from St. John's. Well, before that, we, the Helvey family and myself, we were trying to make a trail that went through Langsburg on the abandoned railway, and that failed, and is the short story. Anyway, we were still hot and heavy with wanting to make a trail for, my customers and whatever. A safe place to ride a bike is basically what I wanted. Other people run, other towns use their rail trail, like over in Fowler, they use it for part of their cross-country running track and whatever. I mean, it gets a lot of uses. But, I wanted a safe place for my bicycle people to go.
Yeah.
And in 99, this Roger Thalen and another guy from St. John's, they started up a group going from, they mostly just worried about Clinton County, but we wanted it to come to Owosso because the trail ends at where it used to cross M21 by Eddie O'Flynn's out there where the S-curve is.
Yep.
On M21. So the trail goes from there to downtown Ionia, but it has gone farther to downtown Lowell. So our trail goes Actually, it goes 125 miles. It's a big letter
Wow.
C, but our part of it that we worked on was from Owosso to Ionia.
Wow. Have you ridden the whole thing? The whole C?
Nope.
No? How
Not
long would
terrible.
it take to cycle 125 miles, typically?
Some people do it in a day, but
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow. I don't know that I could do that. That's crazy.
we had get county commissioners from each county to want to do it.
Sure.
Because they were the ones that would have to sign on the dotted line, even though they didn't have to pay for much. And so that was hard to do. Finally, right at the 10th hour, 11th hour, James Capitan came on board with our side, and he stuck up for us at the county commissioners and finally realized it was a good thing. I mean, we couldn't even get them guys to hop in a car and go to St. Charles and see how
Yeah.
great they are in other communities, you
Yeah.
know. Or no, I guess it was Midland maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, because Dow made theirs. Theirs was one of the best things in their town.
Yeah. Yeah, they built that bridge, right? That they call it the Tridge or whatever, the
Yeah.
triple bridge or whatever. Yeah, I was at that a couple weeks ago. It's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, the trail
As
goes
well.
right over it.
Yep. So I remember, you talked about a bike gang that, the bike gangs that used to be around, but you kind of still have something like that. I don't know how active you guys are. When I used to work at the Comstock, we used to get visited by the peddlers all the time. Was
Yeah.
that something you started or just a part of it?
That was, I had an antique bike fest behind our bike store because everybody does a ride for road people or mountain bikes or whatever. Cancer-a-thon, bike rides, whatever.
Yeah.
So I wanted a bike ride for antique bike people because we had so many customers and whatever. So we had our first antique bike fest, and a lot of people bought them from us, or the companies made new ones that looked old. And then Tim at Rainbow Bar said, well, let's have a bike ride, because he had a couple of them for him and his wife. And then we went on, or everybody started going on rides, and then they didn't want to do it just once a year when our bike thing was, so they started going regularly. It's not as strong as it was. Now there's only like 20 people go or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's still
Yeah.
fun.
Well, you guys used to pack the place out. I mean, they'd say the
Yeah.
peddlers are coming, and there'd be like 50, 60 people come in. They'd be there for about 45 minutes, an hour, and then you'd see them riding around town. And probably COVID changed a lot of that, but hopefully
Yeah,
it's making a comeback.
That's Bob Nelson, he always said, yeah, it's like a heart attack. You're like,
Yeah.
and then when you leave, it's like,
Yep. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the journey. We've talked a little bit about how you grew up. You always had a love for bikes. You always knew you know how to fix things. Were you born and raised right here in Owosso?
Yep, I was born on State Street next to Corner Pub down there.
Okay. So right in your hometown, right in your area even there.
I've never left that.
No?
That's
So you still live on State Street?
no, but I live in that side of town.
Yeah, my grandmother used to live on State Street.
No, I live off North Chipman, but as a kid, we lived on Olmsted Street on Chipman, and we'd always ride our bike down to Pete's Party Store to waste a quarter on candy.
So did you ever have a job outside of this, or did you always? This is what you always did.
No, I worked at Chicken Joy. The
Chicken
Toby
Joy.
family from Owosso had a place called Chicken Joy, and they had
Chicken Joy.
Betty Botter's Better Batter. It was better than Colonel Sanders.
Where was that located?
They were where Big John's is now.
Okay, so right next to KFC.
Yeah, when KFC used to be next to Tim Hortons in that
Yeah.
empty parking
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
That's where KFC used to be.
Amazing how the town has changed.
Yeah.
So
I still have my hat and my tie from Kentucky, or
Really?
from Chicken Joy, yeah.
Well, that's got to be worth something at this point.
I wear it for Halloween sometimes.
Yeah. So what is I know you have a lot of antique bikes, and I know you do the antique trucks as well. I love is that an old milk truck or whatever that
Panel
is?
truck,
Yeah,
they
that
call
truck.
it.
I love that thing. That thing is awesome. Well, what is your favorite bicycle of all time?
Oh,
It's like picking a favorite kid, right?
yeah.
AJ?
Yeah. They, I don't know. It's hard to say. It'd probably be a road bike because that's what I grew up on. You know,
Yeah.
the skinny tire with the drop handlebars. But nowadays, I pretty much ride antique style bikes. That's what we rode to Ovid last night. And I don't know. It's lazy. You
Yeah.
sit up like this and see the sights. But I still have a drop bar bike,
Yeah.
and that's what I ride most of the time with. We have a group that rides at the Y on Tuesdays. We're all done for this year, but we've done that for 15 or more years. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I got to ask you, someone that's been in business as long as you've been in business, I'm certain that you've learned some things along your journey that would maybe help young entrepreneurs, young business owners, people who are thinking about being business owners or maybe already are having some struggles. You know, I'm sure in your industry, there have been ups and downs, just like every other industry, times where biking was more popular than others. But what are some things you've learned on your journey of being a business owner and an entrepreneur that you think maybe would help someone listening?
Oh, the customer is number one.
It's a good one.
And at least for us, you have to save all your pennies because we don't really make any money. I mean, it looks like you got a bankroll at the end of summer, but
Yeah.
you have to pay yourself all winter for sitting there doing nothing. So all your money's gone by spring.
Got to be wise with it.
and you
Yeah.
have to start all over again.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to be real thrifty and whatever, like your customers, and
Yep.
do the best to make sure they're going to come back. You don't want to make them mad so they don't come back after you just waited on them.
Yeah, you know, something like that is, maybe it sounds obvious or simple, but customer service is a lost art. I mean, you can't hardly go anywhere today and find employees that are happy to serve you, that are trying to make your experience better, that are going out of their way to give you options and tell you about all the great things. I mean, it's literally transactional. That's it. Like, come in, and now everything's like self-serve. You come into the store, you fill up the cart, you go check out yourself, you walk, like, bag your own
Right.
groceries. You go into even the gas station. I went to the gas station. They have self-checkouts at the gas station. I'm like, how long are the lines at the gas station that you need a self-checkout?
Yeah.
It's like we're trying to remove the human element of everything that we do, and the idea of just taking care of your customers and enjoying that and appreciating. Like, business owners need to realize, without your customers, you don't have a business. And so show some gratitude and make buying from you or shopping with you an experience. Let your customers know that you're truly grateful that they came into your store and into your shop. Invite them to come back. Make them want to come back. Make it a welcoming environment. It's probably something I learned, you know, in working with hotels. And, you know, I was a pastor for 7 years, which is all about people, learning, you know, how to help people and help people through their tough times. But, you know, I went to, my first hotel was in New York, and, you know, New York is not the Midwest. It's
Right.
not a friendly place generally.
Right.
You know, here you walk through Walmart and everyone says hello, and you're talking to people, and you say hello to a stranger in New York, they're like, "You talking to me? What are you talking about?" You know, like, they don't want to have conversations. So I noticed real early on, like, there's just no service out here. And so I think the reason our hotel did so well out there is we just kind of brought customer service back and hospitality. And I think if you are running a business now, thinking about starting a business, have a business already, you do not have a business without a customer, period. There's no business that exists without someone to buy from you. And so if you focus on making your product, your services great for your customers and take care of them and make them want to shop from you and come back, in today's market, that can set you apart all by itself. That can make you have a really unique location just by focusing on those things. Absolutely.
Part of it's probably me, and I don't know how I became that person, but you know, just to be nice to the customers and whatever, but you know, help them load their bike up, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big thing. A lot of, well, never mind. You know, just being that extra helpful person, because even my young kids, you know, they ring up somebody's repair and, you know, give them the ticket and off they go. And I'm like, go help them go open the door for them. Go
Yeah.
help them get it in their trunk or back
Yep.
of their truck or whatever.
Yep. Oh, it's a
I
lost
mean,
art.
Doesn't hurt to help them. The people,
Absolutely not.
I mean, sometimes they just say, I got it, or
Well,
whatever, but
Yeah, like I said, there was maybe a day where that was common practice, but now, if you do that stuff now, you're going to stand out.
Oh, yeah.
If you go those extra miles, like you said, even something as simple as let me get the door for you, let me help you with your box, your bag, let me help you load this up. Any of those types of things, those things alone are going to make you unique in today's business world.
Yep.
So I want to move on real quick to a segment that we call Explain That Post. I'm going to text you. You have your phone with you?
sure.
I'm going to text you an image. Actually, I think I have a couple here. Okay. First one is this one. And I want you, this is something I found. We did a deep dive on your Facebook page. Not the House of Wheels, but your personal page. And I found this picture, and our audience can see this. And let me know when you get it. But this looks like you're walking on water, and I think it just needs a little more context here. What's going on here?
I was walking on water. If you look at my toes real close, you
looks
can
like
just
it.
see the splash
Perfectly timed
starting.
photo.
Yes, by Rick Church, who works across the street at Gilbert's.
Okay.
That was for raising money for the parks.
The polar plunge.
Yep. And I got lucky enough to be the first one. I think I might have been the president of the parks at the time. So yeah, I got to be the first one, and that's when the ice was like a foot thick, and it was
Right.
heart-stopping. And then they want to interview you as soon as you get out of there, and you can't talk.
Yeah, I mean, was it colder than you thought it was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be? Or, I
Yeah.
can't imagine.
Yeah, it's
In and out, right? Like, I got to get out of this. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They actually asked me, I was actually scheduled. That was the year, the first year they did it. And I was scheduled to do it. And I got sick the day before. I got like the flu or something. And so I was kind of grateful that I had the flu because I didn't really want to jump in that cold water. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm going to send you this one as well. I found this on your Facebook. I want to know, like, when you see this photo, number one, when is that from? And,
that's our first store, and that is Dr. Haar, the dentist, owned the building at the time. And that's the west side of our store now. We bought where it says Supple's Cleaners to,
Okay.
to the right in the picture, to
I
the
gotcha.
left in real life. But so we have a hole in the wall joining the thing so we
the
could
two
have
spots.
a bigger showroom. But first we started out here where the red and white stripe awning is. And when we outgrew that, we bought the Supple's Cleaners next door, so we moved next door. And then when we outgrew Supple's Cleaners, we bought Dr. Haar because his daughter bought the business and moved it down on Exchange Street because it was hard for everybody to walk up and down stairs. And so we punched a hole in the wall and made our showroom bigger.
Very, very cool. Yeah, it's a cool showroom. If you haven't been inside, you got to go check it out.
So
It's
this
really, really
picture
cool.
is probably from, 74.
19. Oh, so that's right early on when you guys started.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this last one I just sent you, I thought this was cool. I want you to make me a bike like this with our logo on it. So I want to come meet with you, and we'll pick out a bike.
fun.
We'll pick out a bike that has a panel like that, and maybe have you. Did you guys print that or have someone print
We
that?
had somebody print it.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to talk. I think it'd be cool to put somewhere here in our location a cool bike with our logo on it. I think that'd be an awesome, whether we hang it from the ceiling or something. But so I'm gonna come down and talk with you about getting us a bike like that. I think that's really
We
cool.
did one for Matt Grubb also.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, we sold him the bike. He had
Yep.
somebody else print the sticker. But this one was fun just
Yeah.
'cause it looked chocolate and had white
Yeah.
wheels, so it looked
Yeah.
like Lance's big.
Yeah, well,
I
I'll
guess.
come down. We'll meet about what the right bike is, and then you can help me pick it out, and we'll order it, and then we'll have it put here in the shop. I think that'll be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So now we have a segment called "Say It in 60." This is where
Okay.
we try to squeeze the last ounces of genius out of our guest. And we're going to ask you 10 rapid-fire questions. You have 60 seconds to answer them. Now, there's no wrong answers because they're just your answers. So whatever you say is good. But it will be on the internet forever. So we're going to go ahead and go those. And, if you get them all right, you're the winner. If you don't get them right, you're still the winner. But it's just a fun thing to do. So are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Dan, you got the timer? All right. The timer starts now. What is a must-read book?
It's the Bible.
Love it. What is a daily habit everyone should do?
Drink hot tea.
A good one. Favorite podcast?
This one.
Well, what a good answer. Michigan or Michigan State?
Michigan State.
Go Spartans. I'm a Michigan fan, but that's okay. What's your why?
Because I have to pay bills to make the rest of the world survive.
Good answer. Apple or Android?
Apple.
What is your favorite quote?
You have to be smarter than the thing you're working on.
Like it. What is a must-binge TV series?
I give up on that one.
Okay. What is success to you?
Paying my bills and going to work and making the world happy, I guess.
There you go. How much time we got? 5 seconds. You want to answer a must-binge TV series?
Must be Maine Cabin Masters lately.
Maine Cabin Masters. All right, good one. You got it all. 60 seconds. Good job.
Woohoo!
Good job. All right. Well, Rick, we want to say thank you for coming on our show today. We really
Thanks for having
appreciate
me.
that. Before we go, I'm going to have you look into this camera, and I'm going to have you tell our audience where they can find you online and where they can find you physically, what your location is.
We are at 814 West Main Street in Owosso, Michigan. We've been there since 1972, so hopefully if you've been from town, you've visited us before.
Yeah, hopefully.
We have a Facebook page under House of Wheels, and we have a internet, www, but we don't ever use it, houseofwheelsmi.com. Everybody seems to want faster answers, so
Yeah,
we
that's
pretty
where they
much
go,
do
yeah.
the Facebook thing, or you can call us, old-fashioned,
Yeah. Somebody
98
will answer the phone.
989-725-8373. It's funny you say that because now with all the e-bikes, it's kind of a joke in the bicycle industry because now they call regular bicycles acoustic bicycles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Analog bicycles. Yeah, that's funny. Well, Rick, thank you again for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
Thanks
you
for having
watching.
me.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. As my mother always said, you can't and never could until you tried. So go out there and try something great, my friends, and don't take the easy way out. We'll see you next time.
Okay, so now we're moving on to our last segment of the podcast called the Whisper Challenge. We've got Rick Morris here, and each of us are going to take a turn. He's got the headphones on. I'm going to say a phrase, and he's going to try to guess it. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Can you hear me? Okay. Rails to trails.
You'll have to do that again.
Rails to trails. Rails to trails.
I'm a bad lip reader, I guess.
Okay. 3 words.
Yeah, I can tell you're saying
Okay.
3 words
Okay.
or else 3 syllables,
Okay.
but
Rails. Rails.
must start with an R.
Rails to trails.
Ride your bike.
Rails.
Rest.
No. Rails.
Rick.
Nope. Rails. Rails to trails.
I give up.
Okay. You can take your headphones off. We had rails to trails.
Rails to trails.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
You ready?
Okay.
Oh,
You're good.
am I supposed to say it out loud? Okay. Open streets, Owosso.
One more time.
Open streets.
Open Straits Owosso. Is that right?
Yep.
You're way better at this than I am. My head's so tiny.
Okay. I must have gentle ears.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I'm ready.
Okay. Schrader valve.
Again.
Schrader valve.
Something 5 something.
Schrader valve. I'm so bad at this, I feel like. Schrader valve.
I give up.
Okay. You can take your headphones off.
I'm not good at this.
I think I'm just not good at saying it. Schrader valve.
Schrader valve. Oops. Although I used to be good at charades, but
Okay.
mountain biking.
Faust bucket.
Close.
Oh,
No. Mountain biking.
all I can see is Faust bucket.
Mountain biking. Mountain biking.
Bow? No.
Mountain biking.
Something bucket?
Nope.
No.
It's awesome that you talk louder when you have earphones on. Mountain biking.
Faust? Mouse? Faust? I have no idea. One more time.
Mountain biking.
One more time.
Mountain biking.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay.
Mountain biking.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't close at all. I literally I couldn't hear myself at all.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
You were. What? What'd you say?
Okay. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Brain bucket.
Disc brakes.
Brain bucket.
Brain bucket.
Yeah! Good job. Good job.
I got one.
All right, last round.
All right. I'll try not to scream this time. Okay.
Johnny Cash.
I'm good.
House of Wheels. House
Oust.
of Wheels.
Oust.
Am I
That's
supposed
not
to
a
be over
word.
here? House of Wheels.
One more time.
House of Wheels.
Of.
House of Wheels.
House of Wheels. I got the up. I could.
Easy. She's